Hi, today what we're going to do is get started with your embroidery, and you need to know how to do two things. One is going to be how to load a needle, and we're also going to be figuring out how to use your um, embroidery hoops. So first of all, with your needle, you're going to need a piece of string, and with your piece of string, whenever you take this off of here, what I highly recommend is you can go ahead and move those little paper pieces on here, and then what you need to do is to find the end of this. I like to go ahead and find half of it first, go ahead and divide it and wrap it into a big circle, and then kind of search for your end. And then after you find one of the ends, go ahead and very carefully unwind it from here. When you are thinking about how much string to take, go ahead and take about an entire arm span from one hand stretched out all the way to the other. You need to be careful about how you're doing that, because if you are not careful with this, it turns into a bird's nest really, really quickly. So the goal is not to have that. All right, next thing that you're going to do is if you take a nice fresh cut at the end of this, sometimes they get a little fuzzy if they've been around for a little bit, so a nice fresh cut. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and pinch it in between your fingers where you can just barely see the string anymore. So some people I have it, they say, well, I can barely see the string. I mean just like a little itty bitty, almost like a pepper flake there. So we have tiny, tiny. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and put the eye of the needle right over the top of that and kind of work it on here. So this is now on in my needle, and I would overhang that about 6 to 8 inches. If that is significantly difficult for you, if you're taking a lot of time doing that, then I have a little bit of a threading needle hack. So what I have for you is a little post-it note. These are post-it notes that go to mark a page. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take that and fold it in half long ways. And once I give you one of these, you need to hang on to it. I don't have tons of the post-it notes, so I'm going to take this, and this note right here is kind of glued together because of the post-it glue. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this in the center of here. After I have it in the center, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of paper through the eye of the needle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and see how that stays on there. Once again, you're going to go ahead and you need to hang over probably about 6 to 8 inches. All right, next what we're going to do is, now that you have your needle threaded, now we need to learn about your embroidery hoop. With your embroidery hoop, there's first of all a couple different pieces to it. We have a bottom piece that you just kind of slide right out of there. We have a top piece, and then there's a screw right here. For the screw, you can go ahead and loosen it a little bit. Make sure and not to take it all the way out. That's a good way to lose that, and you need to make sure and keep it together. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take the bottom piece, the one that has the complete piece. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our fabric on the top of that. Then you're going to take this and slide it over the top. Now what you'll kind of learn is how tight you like to have these, and this for me would be much, much too loose. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down quite a bit more so that it's going to hold my fabric in there really, really well. After you have it tightened, you can go ahead and also kind of from the back here, we kind of take these and tighten them up just a little bit more so that we have a nice sturdy surface there to work on. All right, that's how to get started with your needle and your embroidery hoop.